Good morning, Martin, 5 Minute Gardener. Right, today's little expedition is the much maligned recently Buddleia. This in particular species is the Buddleia Buzz Ivory. Now, what I mean by much maligned is you've probably seen in the news that they've been putting this particular plant, although not obviously the smaller ones, as a terrible plant in the same lines of the Japanese knotweed. In other words, it spreads and it becomes out of control. Now, of course, some of you might have taken a lovely little walk along some sort of a pathway and seen a lovely old railway viaduct and be amazed by a Buddleia growing out the side of the 300-year-old stonework, 300 meters up in the air, or whatever daft height it manages to hold on and grow. Now, I can understand why people, don't like the Buddleia in that it can have this ability to conquer all. But saying that though, there's nothing difficult about looking after it. In that, if someone was able to climb up the viaduct, they just pull it out. That's all you do. It's nothing difficult about controlling this as a like they think a weed. Now, they are, in this particular instance, growing 2 or 3 feet tall. They got beautiful white plants. Even the larger plants produce fantastic flowers. And the importance of these flowers is they are so good for insects, particularly bees. And as a gardener, we have got a duty to look after bees. We should be looking at our lawns. We should be looking at the way other plants we grow to encourage, bees into our garden. Now, one of those, and one of the great plants, is Buddleia. Now, I've got a number of varieties which are small, which I think adequately do the job if people are concerned about the larger Buddleias. The government like to keep us on a short leash as far as trying to make sure that we kowtow to their beliefs and how to do things. Now, I want to show you how easy it is to propagate these. You can take off cuttings, there's no problem, it's nice and straightforward. But my favourite option with the Buddleia is, you see that stem? I'm going to do it in a round pot because most people have got round pots. Ideally it would be a tray, but I'm going to do this in a round pot. They're quite flexible, so I'm going to, bear with me 2 seconds, whilst I just put this down like that. Put it in the tray, like that. Cover it up, tap it down, there you go. I bet you that will all root. And along that stem, each one of these individual things you can cut these down in the middle, and that will produce, I would imagine, somewhere in the region of 4 or 5 new plants from that particular stem. Now again, it can make a nice little addition to your border. You can add it as a nice big group. Another way of propagating without taking cuttings, bury it nice and deep. There you go, it's nice and deep. Now it's going to be, the soil when I build it up is going to be in contact with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 stems. So again, normal plain simple potting compost here going in. God, I went up to the garden centre and I got compost, and honestly, they might have soaked it in some blimmin' reservoir. Certainly don't need to water any of these plants. Again, put it in. I've not tapped it down too much because, as I said, it's pretty watery. There's 5 or 6 plants in there. That will grow from there. As you see, the one thing is, their obsession with creating this monster out of this plant is it doesn't cause any issues because it's not like a knotweed that expands over a huge area. It is controllable, and these smaller plants are beautiful additions to the garden. And as I said, they are so important for the insects. Everyone should have a Buddleia in the garden. Look lovely. I mean, they can have flowers on them which, the bigger ones are that big. They are beautiful. Anyway, that's my take. I think we should all love a Buddleia. Even if you've got a small garden, get a small plant. Buddleia Buzz Ivory.